Right, this is the justification of editing for my final trailer. Beforehand, when I made this non-continuity trailer, I only got up to here and then had this bit done. Well, this bit done. So I'm gonna talk about my editing choices for the new bits I've added to the start sequence and the continued trailer all the way up to the end. Starting off, I added this here, which is a glitch effect added over the top of this video here, or this video here, just because I thought it would make it follow the generic codes and conventions of a murder mystery more if, like, someone that was being allured to be the killer wasn't seen clearly and had the face glitched out. It also works very well with the music that I have in the background throughout the entire trailer, as it makes you feel more immersed. I did the same glitch again, but this time I did it here. In the transition where we see someone creepily watching this group, and it going with a fade to like a new shot of a dark corridor. Now, the reason why I did the glitch here was because I thought it'd make the transition more interesting and also add to the creepiness of the person behind that group watching them. It'd make it feel like he was more creepy in that aspect when, you know, it starts glitching out as soon as they get off screen. Then we go to this shot here, which is of a dark corridor, which I included this to add more to the creepy aspect of it. Like, although it's a murder mystery, I want the viewers to be sort of on edge at all times because the murderer hasn't been caught and you don't know what's going to happen next and you don't know who the murderer is, so I want you to be on edge, so I'm using creepier shots in the trailer to get that across. Then that shot there was very quick and it was faded in and out very quick. So it fades in here slightly. So you have the dark room, then it fades to another darkish room with a light swinging in front of a person without the face being shown, and then the handcuffs on. This is alluring to the suspected murderer of it, and then it goes to obviously a crime scene, in which I've then faded it to blurred out police lights. So you have your crime scene with what appears to be a murder, and then blurred out police lights in a smooth fade, because it really contrasts the glitchy music to use the smooth fades, which puts, you know, the audience a bit more on edge when it comes to watching the trailer. Then we have this sequence of shots here, which for the rest of the trailer, to improve the quality, I used stock footage because it would be harder to get these shots with everyone that I had before, but I got some free stock footage so that I could fill in these gaps, and it worked pretty well. And due to the editing style I was using, the shots blended in quite nicely with what vibe I wanted to get across. But here we have, if I can get back to the start of this bit, here we have it fade in, and then we have 3 shots of a man in a house with a crowbar all cut together quite quickly, making it a lot more jarring to see that happen. We then go to the same person outside in a hooded jacket, and then glitch out, and then go to someone reaching for help here, and someone with a red filter over them. Or in the meantime, having the glitch effect over the top of it to make it so it seems like you already know that the murderer that has been symbolized through the glitch effect in the trailer earlier has something to do with this girl and the person reaching for help. We then go to a landscaping shot. I use this to show the audience where the actual movie was taking place, because that wasn't very clear. But then we go to this shot here of a gunshot and then a quick cut to a body on the floor. Obviously, these two shots were not taken together in the same environment because of the dark background on the gun and then the body, but due to the 12A restriction, I've made sure that nothing actually violent like a murder is being shown here, otherwise that would go against the 12A rules. But if it's just alluring to violence, I'm fairly sure that would get me past that little restriction there. But another reason why I used these shots so quickly together like that was it brings more emphasis to the actual shot there, and then more emphasis to the body because they're in different locations. Then this time when it goes to the murder scene, I've used the glitch effect because that brings more fear and also more knowing to the trailer, as you now know more that this is the killer's work. He has done this murder. And then it cuts to the hooded person that we saw earlier running away, and then a convict like we saw earlier on in the trailer. I think it was back here, the same convict person then running away here. Was it? No. Here. The same convict running away here, and then the same one from the start of the trailer. I then used a wildfire effect here, because the music starts to die down, as you'll hear. So I used this to symbolise, like anarchy when he's running away. But then while the music's died down and everything, I wanted to build up like a nice relaxed feeling of just the fire, to then when it cuts back in and gets a bit more intense, you can worry while watching the trailer of what you might see or might be allured to next. But then go to a couple different shots of people just reacting in bad ways to things, which I use to symbolise the effect that the murders have been having on people around when, they've happened. And this is introducing possible main characters to the story. Here we have a couple shots of someone falling into a pool there, mixed with the hand reaching up again from the earlier shot, to symbolise it is the same person. Here it is. So that's the same shot there. And that's to symbolise that it's the same person. So this person falling into the pool is the person that was being referenced earlier. I've then used a couple shots to just put a break in between. We have this one of someone else's, of the murderer preparing to do something again, and then obviously we have the murderer wearing his mask again, so you can identify it as him, of him breaking into a house. And then we go to the Law and Justice statue to show that it is about crime and it's about a criminal and it's a murder mystery film. And it goes on this one, then it uses a close-up there, and I used a quite jagged cut here so that you could see it happen more clearly. We then use that clip there to show that he has been caught, which kind of spoils a bit of the movie, but then it also could mean that he has been caught, but he has a way to get out, because in the next shot we show someone running away and then just the eye here. And here I intentionally used an empty space scene because I feel like it adds more to the level of mystery and creepiness if it's just black for a couple seconds before the next shot, which is obviously of someone walking away, and while they're walking away you can hear the same footsteps that you had in the last ending in the background as they're walking away, and then it glitches out as he's like finishes walking away, and then it does a quick cut instead of like a smooth transition. It just does a quick cut to the movie name, and then everything else I've talked about in the first video.